Imagine you are standing in front of a giant golden palace. The sun is shining, the palm trees are waving in the breeze, and everything looks like a fairy tale. You see a beautiful bride in a dress that sparkles like the stars. You see a tall, handsome groom who is smiling from ear to ear. This sounds like the perfect ending to a movie, right? But what if I told you that just behind those big, fancy doors, things were not perfect at all? What if a giant storm was rushing toward the beach, ready to blow all the decorations away? And what if the bride's own family was having big, loud arguments about things that had nothing to do with her special day? This is the story of Tiffany Trump and Michael Boulos. It is a story about a girl who often felt like she was the hidden daughter of a very famous man. She finally found her prince, but their wedding day was almost a total disaster. There were scary storms in the sky, and even scarier tensions between her brothers and sisters. Everyone was worried that the whole thing would be canceled at the last second. Do you want to know how she saved her big day? Do you want to know what her father really thought about the man she chose to marry? Put on your fancy clothes and get ready, because we are going inside the most famous house in Florida to see what really happened during the wedding that the whole world was watching. I always really like it when I get to show him to my friends. This is especially true for the friends who think they already know everything about him before they even say hello. They think they know what to expect because he is very rich and comes from a big, important family. But once they actually meet him, they see the truth. They meet a man who is very, very charming. He is very nice and does not act like he is wearing a mask or pretending to be someone else. He is just a normal, kind person who is easy to talk to and fun to be around. He does not have a fake face at all. Tiffany Trump's wedding was supposed to be like a beautiful dream. She wanted to have it at Mar-a-Lago, which is a giant, fancy club her father owns in Florida. She was marrying Michael Boulos, who is a billionaire. That means he has a whole lot of money. But just a few days before the wedding, things started to look very bad. The family was having many fights. Her father, Donald Trump, was not in a very good mood. It seemed like the big party might turn into a giant disaster. We are going to look at all the small details of this event. We will find out why they almost had to stop the wedding and send everyone home. But before we talk about the wedding, we need to talk about Michael. Who is he? Where did he come from? How did his life make things harder for the wedding? And what did Tiffany's father really think about him? Let's find out about Michael's life and how he first met Tiffany. In the summer of the year 2018, Tiffany Trump and Michael Boulos met for the very first time. They were on a very busy and fun island called Mykonos, which is in the country of Greece. They were at a place by the ocean that belonged to a famous actress named Lindsay Lohan. The place was full of energy. There was loud music playing, people were laughing, and the bright sun was shining over the blue sea. In this very pretty place, two young people from famous families met each other. Mykonos is one of the most expensive and fancy places in the whole world. Some people said that Lindsay Lohan helped them meet, but she said that was not true. She said she wasn't even there when they first said hello. She had only met Michael a little while before that. She said she was friends with Tiffany, but they weren't super close. It doesn't really matter exactly how they met, because it was easy to see that they liked each other very much right away. Their friendship turned into a very serious love very quickly. Michael Boulos has a very interesting life, just like Tiffany. Michael grew up in a big city called Lagos, which is in the country of Nigeria. Nigeria is in Africa. His family is very rich and has a lot of power. They own a giant group of businesses called Boulos Enterprises. This is a very big deal in Nigeria. They make and sell all kinds of things. They are very famous for selling motorcycles and fast bikes. They also sell things from a brand called Suzuki. Michael learned how to be a businessman when he was just a little boy. He watched his family run their big company and learned how to make it grow. He wanted to be just like them. Even though Michael grew up in Nigeria, his family actually came from a country called Lebanon. His family has been in Nigeria for a long, long time. They are very respected there, but they still remember their Lebanese roots and traditions. Michael grew up knowing two different cultures. He knew the ways of Lebanon and the fast business world of Nigeria. This helped him see the world in a special way. As Michael got older, he wanted to learn even more. He moved to the big city of London in England. He went to a school called the University of London to study how to manage businesses. He learned how to talk to people and how to start new companies. Being in London made him want to do big things. He wanted to find new ways to make money and reach his goals. After he finished school, he went back home to Nigeria. He started working with his family at Boulos Enterprises. This gave him a lot of practice at running a big, successful company. But Michael did not want to just wait for his family to give him things. He was very driven. He wanted to start his own projects. He started putting his money into new things. He wanted his own business world to be even bigger than his family's. People think Michael is worth between $10 million and $20 million. This shows that he and his family are very successful. Michael is known for being very careful when he makes choices about his work. He does his family chores, but also tries new and exciting things. Tiffany did not care about the mean things people said about Michael's past. Sometimes people said bad things about the countries Michael came from. Even her father had said some controversial things about places like Nigeria, but Tiffany and Michael did not let that stop them. They were very serious about their love. They respected each other and wanted the same things in life. People who know Tiffany say she is a very warm person. She likes people for who they are on the inside. She doesn't care where they were born. You could see this in the way she loved Michael. She liked his background and thought his hard work was great. They promised to help each other reach their dreams. Tiffany and Michael made a team that was modern but also very smart. Even though their last names were famous, they wanted to write their own story. They wanted to be known for their own lives, not just their families. Since they are both very important, people wondered what it was like when they decided to get married. Michael Boulos very quickly became a big part of Tiffany's family. He fit into her life perfectly. Their relationship got even more serious when Tiffany took Michael to meet her family for the first time. They went to Mar-a-Lago, which is her father's private club. It was for a big Thanksgiving dinner in the year 2018. Before that, Tiffany had kept her love life a secret, but bringing Michael to a big family holiday meant things were getting very real. Tiffany's family could see how happy she was. They were glad she was starting this new chapter. Michael did a great job at the dinner. He was very polite and smart. He came from a good family, so it was easy for the Trumps to like him. After that, Michael went to almost all the big Trump family parties. He even went to the White House. When Donald Trump had big speeches, Michael was right there next to Tiffany. In December of the year 2020, Michael posted a very cool picture. It was him and Tiffany in the Oval Office with Donald Trump. They were all smiling. This showed that Michael was very comfortable with Tiffany's dad. He also became friends with Tiffany's brothers and sisters. Their names are Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric. He hung out with them at family parties, and they all got along great. Even Tiffany's mom, Marla Maples, really liked Michael. In 2019, Marla and Michael sat together at a big fashion show in New York. They looked very happy to be there. Marla always wants the best for Tiffany. She felt good knowing that Tiffany and Michael had a real bond. In January of 2021, Michael did something very big. He asked Tiffany to marry him. He did it at the White House. This was very special because that place was important to Tiffany and her family. Tiffany was so excited that she told the whole world on the internet. She said it was a moment she would never forget. She posted a picture of them together. They looked so happy to start their new life as a team. Michael was very excited too. He told everyone that he had asked the love of his life to be his wife. He couldn't wait for their future. When he asked her to marry him, he gave her a giant diamond ring. It cost $1.2 million. That is a lot of money for one ring. There are pictures of him kneeling down in the rose garden at the White House. Tiffany was so happy. She posted a photo and said that they had finished 1 year of being together and had a whole lifetime to go. After they got engaged, they started planning where they would live. They decided to move to Miami, Florida. They wanted a fresh start. Miami was a good place because they could be free but also be close to their families. Tiffany had just finished law school at Georgetown. She was ready to start her job. They loved the fun, energy, and different cultures in Miami. It was also close to Tiffany's brothers and sisters. Donald Jr. lived nearby, and so did Ivanka. Her dad and Melania often stayed at Mar-a-Lago, which was just a short drive away. Tiffany and Michael loved the Miami lifestyle. Her friends said she loved the art and the food there. They liked to go to cool restaurants and be part of the city. Michael fit in perfectly with the family and the new city. They were building a life full of love and growth, even though people were always watching them. But even though they were very happy, something almost made them cancel the wedding. Was it because of Tiffany's complicated relationship with her dad? To understand that, we have to look at how Tiffany grew up. Tiffany is the only child of Donald Trump and Marla Maples. This makes her special in the family. She was born in Florida on October 13, 1993. This was right before her parents had a giant wedding at a famous hotel in New York City. That wedding was huge. More than 1,000 people were there. There were photographers everywhere. It showed how fancy her father's life was. People say Donald named her Tiffany because he really liked the famous jewelry store called Tiffany and Company. He had done a big business deal above their store on Fifth Avenue. From the very start, Tiffany's life was full of gold and glamour because of her father. But her life was very different from her older brothers and sisters. In 1997, her parents stopped being together. They officially ended their marriage 2 years later. After that, her mom, Marla Maples, moved to California. She took Tiffany with her. Marla did this because she wanted to keep Tiffany away from all the cameras and the loud news in New York. She didn't want the Trump name to be too heavy for her little girl. California was a very quiet and secret place for Tiffany to grow up. It was the opposite of the fast and busy life in New York. Marla wanted Tiffany to have a normal life. Tiffany didn't grow up around big buildings and business deals. Instead, she had simple things. She had home-cooked meals and played outside. Her home felt like her mom's old home in Georgia. It was a place where being kind and having good friends was more important than having lots of stuff. Marla wanted Tiffany to be her own person. Even though they lived far away from her dad, Marla made sure Tiffany saw him on holidays and during summer break. Tiffany would go visit him at Mar-a-Lago or at Trump Tower. Those visits were special, but they didn't happen every day. Her life was mostly in California. Because her mom wanted to keep her safe from the news, Tiffany's relationship with her dad was different than his relationship with his other kids. The other kids were always part of his business and his big life. But Tiffany was living a very chill life in California. She went to school, played volleyball, and made art. Her life was very calm compared to her brothers and sisters. But as she got older, she knew that being a Trump was a big deal. She understood that her last name was very famous. But her mom had taught her good values. Tiffany stayed focused on her schoolwork. She wanted to build a life that was just hers. When she got even older, people started to wonder if she was close to her dad. Some people thought they didn't talk much. Others thought there was tension between them. Tiffany wasn't part of her dad's business like Ivanka, Donald, Jr., and Eric. She was on the edge of the family business. This made people curious about her place in the family, especially when her dad became very famous in politics. Tiffany always told people that the rumors were not true. She said her father was loving and supportive, just in his own way. She said they didn't have to talk every day to be close. She said he always told her to do well in school and follow her dreams. She chose to think about the good parts of their relationship. She liked being independent. This was something that made her different from her siblings. Her brothers and sisters were trained to be part of the Trump business, but Tiffany made her own path. After she finished high school, she moved back to the East Coast. She went to college at the University of Pennsylvania. Her father had gone to school there too. She studied sociology and urban studies. This showed she respected her family history but also wanted to learn about things she liked. She lived closer to her dad, but she stayed her own person. She focused on her books and stayed away from the cameras. Her mom was still there to help her. Marla taught her to be kind and honest. She helped her stay grounded even though her family was so famous. This helped Tiffany stay normal even when things got crazy. When Tiffany became an adult, things got even bigger. Her dad announced he wanted to be the president. Suddenly, the whole world was looking at her. She had spent a long time being quiet in California. Now she was right in the middle of everything. This was a big change. Tiffany started to help her father with his campaign. She even gave a big speech at the Republican National Convention. That was her official start in the public eye. It was a very big change for her. She was used to a quiet life, but now she had to deal with the pressure of being famous. Her speech showed she supported her father, but she also had to balance her family loyalty with the things her mother taught her. People wondered if she got along with her brothers and sisters. Did they support her, or did they leave her out? Even though Tiffany grew up far away, she stayed connected to her half-siblings. Her mom, Marla, always told her to stay in touch with them. She told Tiffany that family is the most important thing. Marla wanted Tiffany to know she was part of a big group. She reached out on birthdays and visited during holidays. When Tiffany moved to the East Coast for college, she got even closer to them. She especially liked Ivanka. Ivanka was like a supportive big sister. She helped Tiffany as she became an adult. She gave her advice about jobs and shared tips about life. They had a sisterly bond because they both knew what it was like to grow up in their family. They spent holidays together and kept up family traditions. Ivanka sometimes called Tiffany my little sister. She really valued their bond. They cared for each other a lot, even though they grew up in different ways. This showed that their family was strong. People wondered if Tiffany could really be her own person away from her father's shadow. When she was in high school, Tiffany thought about being an actress. Her mom, Marla, had been an actress, so Tiffany was curious about Hollywood. Her mom supported her and even got her acting lessons. Tiffany also loved music. She even made a song called Like a Bird. She told people she loved to sing. She thought about doing it for a job one day, but at the time it was just for fun. After high school, she focused on her studies. She went to the same college as her dad. She studied things like law and how cities work. College was a time for her to grow and figure out what she wanted to do. She was a very good student and got great grades. Her dad was very proud of her. He liked to tell people how well she was doing in school. Tiffany also did internships, which are like practice jobs. Because of her sister Ivanka, she got a job at a famous fashion magazine called Vogue. This taught her a lot about style and design. She was very good at it. After that, she worked at a company that sells glasses called Warby Parker. This taught her about business and technology. She wanted to have a job where she could make a big difference in the world. Even though she liked fashion and music, she didn't stop there. In 2017, she decided to try something very brave. She went to law school at Georgetown University. She wanted to learn about important topics in the world today. She studied things like national security and how to fix the criminal justice system. Her teachers and classmates were very impressed by how hard she worked. Even though she had Secret Service agents following her everywhere because her dad was the president, she stayed very quiet. She didn't try to be famous at school. Her friends said she was very concentrated and easy to be around. She was just a regular student who worked hard. In 2020, she graduated from law school. Both of her parents were very proud. Her mom said she was kind and wise. Her dad was very happy too. He joked that now he had a lawyer in the family. Tiffany had gone from wanting to be a star to being a successful lawyer. This showed she had many different parts to her personality. She was smart, driven, and ready for the future. But what about the wedding? What problems did they have to face? Let's look at the plans they made for their special day. Tiffany and Michael decided that Mar-a-Lago was the perfect place to get married. It was a very important place for Tiffany. Her mom said it was like her childhood home. It was full of family memories. This made the wedding feel very personal. On November 12, 2022, they had a big party. They wanted all their friends and family to be together. It was a day full of warmth and love. Tiffany's mom was so proud to see her daughter marry the perfect partner. Donald Trump did his job as the father. He walked Tiffany down the aisle. He even danced with her during the party. Her mom said a heartfelt prayer at the wedding. Tiffany's brothers and sisters helped her plan everything so it would be perfect. Tiffany wore a beautiful dress made by a Lebanese-American designer. This was a way to honor Michael's roots. The dress mixed styles from the West and the Middle East. It was very elegant. Even the cake was special. It was inspired by the cake at her parents' wedding a long time ago. They thought about having the wedding in Greece where they met, but they chose Florida instead. They still love Greece and might have a party there one day, but they were happy to be with their family in Florida. They didn't know that big challenges were coming just hours before the wedding. How did they get through them? As the wedding day got closer, some big problems showed up. A giant storm called Tropical Storm Nicole hit Palm Beach. It had very strong winds and a lot of rain. It made everything at Mar-a-Lago very wet. The storm stayed for 3 days. Tiffany was very worried. She thought her dream wedding might be ruined. But then something amazing happened. The clouds went away just in time. The guests started to arrive on Friday evening, ready to party. But even though the weather was nice, there was a different kind of storm inside her family. The Trump family is always in the news for their relationships. They were also dealing with big political fights. Tiffany's dad was not in a good mood. His political team had not done well in the recent elections. He was also planning to run for president again right after the wedding. This made things feel very uncomfortable. The family was split. Some people were excited about his new campaign. Others were tired of politics. One person who was unsure was Ivanka. She and her husband, Jared, used to be a big part of Donald's political team. But after they left the White House, Ivanka stayed away from politics. She wanted to focus on her 3 kids and her life in Miami. She didn't go to any campaign events. This was a big change because she had always supported her dad before. On the other hand, Donald Jr. was ready to help his dad. He was very loud and excited about another campaign. He stayed in his own world and planned big rallies. Even Melania seemed like she didn't want to be in the spotlight again. All these different feelings were bubbling together at the wedding. It was not a relaxed time. Some family members tried really hard not to talk about politics. They wanted to focus on Tiffany and Michael, but you could still feel the tension. Donald Trump seemed like he had a lot on his mind. He was thinking about his career, but he also knew he had to be the father of the bride. Walking Tiffany down the aisle was very important. People said he mostly stayed by himself before the ceremony. He didn't want to be in the spotlight until it was time for the wedding. There was a big risk that all this family drama would ruin Tiffany's big day. Tiffany just wanted her family to be together in love. She wanted them to forget about politics for a little while. Even though the media sometimes calls her the forgotten daughter, she is actually very close to her siblings. She and Ivanka are very good friends. Ivanka helped a lot with the wedding and the bridal shower. She wanted to show her little sister how much she cared. When Saturday finally came, the Trumps tried their best to focus on the wedding. People gathered under the blue sky. All eyes were on Tiffany and Michael. The ceremony was very pretty. There were no political speeches or pressures. For a little while, it seemed like all the fights had disappeared. Donald looked very proud as he walked his daughter down the aisle. He did a great job. The whole family came together to support Tiffany. They showed the world they were a team. The wedding was a big success, even with the storms and the fights. It was a reminder that even when families have big problems, they can still come together for love. It was a happy day for Tiffany. She was starting her new life with Michael. In the end, the wedding was about more than just a fancy party. It showed that Tiffany was very good at keeping her family together. Even when her dad was having a hard time, she brought a moment of peace and happiness. She showed that love can win, even in her famous family. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also click on the next video to see more. Tiffany and Michael are now living their life together in Miami. They are exploring the city and making new friends. Michael is working hard on his businesses, and Tiffany is starting her career as a lawyer. They are a great team. They show that you can come from two different worlds and still build a beautiful life together. Their wedding day was a big test, but they passed it with flying colors. They didn't let the weather or the family drama stop them. They stayed focused on their love for each other. And that is the most important thing of all. Their story is just beginning, and we can't wait to see what they do next. They are both very smart and driven, so we know they will do great things. They have a big future ahead of them, full of adventures and success. And even though people will always be watching them, they know they have each other. That is a very special kind of bond. So the next time you see a picture of a beautiful wedding, remember that there might be a much bigger story behind it. Just like the story of Tiffany and Michael, it's a story of love, family, and being strong in the face of challenges. It's a story that shows that anything is possible if you have someone by your side who truly cares about you. And that is a lesson we can all learn from. Thank you for watching and being part of this journey with us. We hope you enjoyed hearing about Tiffany and Michael's special day. Stay tuned for more stories about your favorite famous families. There is always something interesting happening in the world of the rich and famous, and we are here to tell you all about it. See you in the next video. Now let's take a quick look back at Michael's family business. Boulos Enterprises is a huge part of his life. It started a long time ago and has grown into a giant empire. They sell things that people need every day in Nigeria. Michael is very proud of what his family has built. He wants to continue that legacy and make it even better. He is not afraid of hard work. He knows that success doesn't happen by accident. You have to plan for it and be willing to do the work. Michael has that kind of drive. He is always looking for new opportunities. He is a very smart investor. He knows how to pick the right projects to put his money into. This is one of the reasons he is so successful. He is not just a rich kid, he is a smart businessman, and Tiffany is the same way. She worked hard in school and got a great education. She has the skills to be a very successful lawyer. Together, they are a powerful couple. They have the brains and the drive to do anything they want. They are a true example of a modern, successful couple. They are building a life that is based on their own hard work and success. And that is something to be very proud of. They are showing the world that you can be famous and still be a good, hard-working person. They are an inspiration to many young people, and we wish them all the best in their new life together. They have a long road ahead of them, but we know they will handle it with grace and strength, just like they handled their wedding day. They are a team, and as long as they stay together, they can face anything the world throws at them. So here's to Tiffany and Michael. May their life be full of love, happiness, and lots of success. We are so glad we could share their story with you today. It's a story that reminds us of the power of love and family. And it's a story that shows that even in the middle of a storm, you can find peace and joy. Thank you for listening. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time for more exciting stories. Bye for now. We really hope this story touched your heart. It's not often that we get such a close look at the lives of the rich and famous. But Tiffany and Michael's wedding gave us a chance to see the human side of their family. We saw the love between a father and a daughter. We saw the bond between sisters. And we saw the strength of a couple who wouldn't let anything stop them from being together. It's a beautiful story, and we are so happy we could tell it to you. Remember to always cherish your family and friends. They are the most important things in the world. And no matter what challenges you face, always keep pushing forward. Just like Tiffany and Michael did. They are a great example of resilience and love, and that's something we can all learn from. Thanks again for watching. We love having you as part of our community. Don't forget to check out our other videos for more great content. We have lots of interesting stories to share with you. And as always, if you have any thoughts or questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. We love hearing from you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care and stay happy. Goodbye.